The She EO Mindset is brought to you by
Hill & Company 12 Event Design.
You are now tuned into the She EO Mindset, bringing you trending topics that will engage you to level up in your business while equipping you to maximize your business opportunities and empower you to boldly step into your business brand and be more visible. This is the She EO Mindset. A CEO is bold, optimistic, vibrant, and successful, leaving a legacy, spreading money-making vibes with a wealth mindset to match her grind. She dreams big. CEOs have no limitations, and when obstacles come, they knock them down gracious. Choosing her own path, a CEO never lowers her aim for someone else's gain. She's wise in her steps. CEOs move in silence, breaking barriers, running businesses, securing the bag, making investments, creating perfect credit. Now that's the CEO Mindset.
Welcome to the She EO Mindset. I'm Nicole Gates, your brandologist.
And I'm Katrina Kimball, your health and wellness consultant.
And each week we try to connect our audience to trending topics that will, 1, equip them, 2, engage them, and 3, empower them to level up in their business and be visible in their brand.
So today we invite you to join us. So grab your pen, your journal, and of course your wine as we start on our journey on the She EO Mindset.
But Katrina, as always, we start every one of our segments with a wind down because we know every CEO works very hard.
Absolutely.
Has a very busy day. And we just want you to sit back, kick back, enjoy the ride, have a little wine, take a few notes. We're going to give you some good stuff. Definitely take some notes. Make sure you have your pen ready. So this week, I'm excited because this is my absolute favorite wine.
Yes.
I am a red wine drinker. You know, I brag about that. I love red wine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this one is Alliance Cellars.
Okay.
I absolutely love this. This is a 2017 Reserve Cuvée. So it's a blend. It's a blend of a red wine. So it has a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon. Well, it's mostly Cabernet Sauvignon. So I'm going to say about 85% Cabernet Sauvignon. And Merlot, not Merlot.
Okay.
And Cabernet Franc. So it has a little bit of that in there. So I love a blend. Blends are wonderful, actually.
Okay.
This is a Bordeaux style.
Okay.
So a lot of people will, when they talk about, if you are a real wine drinker, you understand what a Bordeaux. It comes from the Bordeaux region of France.
Oh, okay.
I know you were looking at me like, what does that mean?
Well, I would say, for those that may not be wine drinkers and maybe tuning in, that may be a good tip for them to know that when you talk about that, that's what they're talking about.
Absolutely. So this one has an aroma of like blackberry, actually prunes, believe it or not. Prunes do actually have, it's a plum. So, and cherry.
Oh, wow.
So those are the aromas that they may, encounter when they drink this wine. What I like to tell people all the time, red wine has to be open at least 30 minutes before you serve it. That is so important because red wine, the bottles typically are dark.
Okay.
This bottle is dark and they have to breathe.
Okay. So
they've been bottled up for quite some time. You heard me say this is 2017. So 3 years. This has been bottled up. It needs to breathe. It has to breathe. Okay. And that way you can smell those different aromas. You have to open up what we call the bouquet.
Okay.
So red wine actually goes well with, again, red sauce, red meat. So you're making a lasagna. Okay. You want to spice it up a little bit, add a little red wine to the sauce.
Okay. You said it goes well with all red meats?
All red meats.
All red sauces? Mm-hmm. Okay.
All red meats. And this one is funny because it actually will go really well with a roasted pork.
Really?
Imagine that.
Okay. Can you cook with this? Because I know some white wines you can cook with.
Yeah.
Can you cook with this one?
Yeah. You can add, like I said, add it to your sauce. If you're making, lasagna, any kind of pasta with a red sauce, add a little bit to it. Spice it up.
Spice it up.
So I love this. The cool part is this particular wine will actually, it can age for about 4 to 5 years.
Oh,
so you don't have to open this up and drink this right away.
Oh, okay.
So you might want to graduate and do some red wine.
I'm not quite ready for that yet. I'm sorry. I'm a diehard.
This wine actually goes well with a cheddar cheese, a Monterey Jack, you know, like something like that. So we have these up front. Chocolate marries so well with red wine. Try a piece of chocolate. I dare you. Try a piece of chocolate.
Okay.
Some red wine.
Okay.
I like blue cheese, right? So I did a wine tasting for friends and, you know, a couple of her friends. And one of the girls there, she said, you know what you have to do? You have to get a Dove chocolate.
All right.
Put some Maytag blue cheese, and that's a such thing. It's called Maytag blue cheese. It's really creamy.
Okay.
And she spread it on the chocolate.
Okay.
And she had it with some wine. It was the best treat ever. So when we come back, what's our topic today? What are we talking about?
So today we're going to be talking about something that you may have heard of. It's called your emotional bank account. Just like it's important that your financial bank account, that you make deposits, you have withdrawals, and sometimes when you're not managing money, you'll get overdraft fees, and sometimes you'll get what we call insufficient funds.
Don't want that.
What we don't realize is that also applies to our emotions. Absolutely. Learning to manage your emotions and understanding the power of emotion intelligence, it can impact your business. So that's what we're going to be talking about when we come back to the CEO mindset today.
We'll be back.
Make a statement without saying a word. Neckology 101 is a leading provider of eclectic and unique neck art in the form of jewelry. They provide an unparalleled selection of quality products, an easy shopping experience, expedited shipping offers, and exceptional customer service. Check out their collection online today. At Christy Taylor Consulting, we understand that consulting and coaching is key to your success. We provide insight and creative strategies in the areas of radio, TV, film, and music. We assist creative entrepreneurs and businesses with professional and personal development. Within our media training division, we offer entertainers and executives tailored programs to identify one's personal narrative, craft a compelling message, prep for media interviews, and public speaking. For your client discovery session, go to ChristyTaylorConsulting.com. The Fruition Complex is a community of forward-thinking creatives and professionals who share a common goal of owning and operating a successful business. The Fruition Complex offers its members access to a collaborative work environment, invaluable networking opportunities, and a list of business development services. Call today, 901-779-2385.
We all know how regular bank accounts work. We make deposits, save up money, and when we need that money later, we withdraw it. An emotional bank account is an account of trust instead of money. It's an account based on how safe you feel with another person. When your trust level is high because you've made lots of deposits, communication is almost effortless. You can be yourself and others understand and appreciate you. Then, when you make mistakes or offend someone unexpectedly, you draw on that reserve and the relationship still maintains a solid level of trust.
So Coach K, we know that every woman that is in business, relationships are the key, right?
Absolutely.
Those relationships, either they're making deposits, they're withdrawing, they're causing us to overdraft. Nobody wants to overdraft. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about relationships and how it impacts our business when we talk about the emotional bank account. What things do we need to have intact?
Well, I think the first thing we have to acknowledge is that we have all types of relationships. You have internal relationships with the people that you're working with, and then you have externals like your clients and your customers, your vendors, the people that you work with. Right. All of that impacts your business. But I think where we miss the market is sometimes we're so busy watching our profits. We're always watching our bank statements. But you have to stop and acknowledge and realize where you are emotionally when it comes to your business. Deposits are all those things that are going to be things that uplift you, positive deposits, such as having a great meeting with a client, or if you find out that you got that great contract you've been working on. That's a deposit. That's going to motivate you. That's going to keep you want to work on your business. Withdrawals are those things that we encounter throughout the day. Maybe a client calls you and they weren't pleased with your service and they cancel a contract with you. Or maybe you have a vendor that promised you they were going to have your products to you and you were getting ready for an event and the vendor didn't deliver. That's a negative. that draws from you. And then of course, sometimes what we don't realize is that how you can get over all the negativity in the withdrawals, you've got to make more deposits. It's just like your bank account. You can't go to the ATM and take any money out if there's no money in your account. Because you're putting deposits into the bank account, you have something to draw from. What we don't realize as humans, we have to put some positive deposits into us. You have to be around people that uplift you, that encourage you. You have to be willing to create. So often we allow life to happen. I believe we have to create what we want. You have to be willing to create versus what we allow. And that's where the positive deposits come in. And everybody's positive deposits don't look alike. Like, for example, I don't like to shop. I don't like to shop. But some people, the best way to kind of kick those endorphins is they go out and they shop. And that kind of uplifts their spirit. For me, I love being in the peace and quiet. One of my favorite things to do is just go to the Memphis Botanic Garden and just sit outside and enjoy nature. So you have to find those things that feed you so it can keep you focused. But just like your bank account, when you don't put in enough deposits, you will get what we call overdraft. It will become insufficient. And sometimes with the bank, if you keep using your card too many times, they'll close your account.
Suck that card right up into that ATM.
They sure will. You won't be able to get anything out. And we only can acknowledge that when, again, we go back and set aside and make time. And that's when I find is the biggest challenge for most CEOs that I talk to. Everybody's so good about knowing their product knowledge. They know their product knowledge. They know how to market their business. They know how to build relationships. For some kind of way, we keep leaving ourselves out of our business. You are your business.
You are.
So if you don't stop and create that time for yourself, and if you don't acknowledge that, well, when I go to lunch with this person, I'm uplifted, versus when I go to lunch with this person, I feel drained.
So other people actually can make positive deposits.
Absolutely.
Or make deposits.
Absolutely.
Right.
People can make deposits in you just like they can make withdrawals. And to be clear, you can do that also.
Right. Okay.
You have to be careful how you treat people also. One of the things my dad used to tell me all the time is when people hear your name, do they smile or do they want to run?
Right.
So, and we have to realize
she's coming again.
Is she coming again? So what are you giving out versus what you're always taking away? Awesome. And don't always use your business as an excuse to always to deplete people. Don't always use your business as an excuse to withdraw from others. Make sure you're giving out what you want in return.
That is good.
As we get ready to transition to our next segment, I want to make sure that we understand that the most important thing that you can ever do is when you listen to someone, that's when you show honor and respect to that person. Even if you don't agree with them, learn to listen to people. That's the most positive deposit you can do for anyone. It's just taking the time to stop and listen to them.
And listening is a discipline. We'll be back.
1015 Take the Shot Studios offers photography, shooting real-time moments, creating lifetime memories, and videography, connecting the dots, linking the past, creating the tapestry of the future. 1015 Take the Shot Studios, a visual storyteller in Memphis. It's time to pop some flair into your style at Iona's Closet. Wonderful clothes and outstanding customer service. A wide selection of casual and consignment clothes for the woman of style at Iona's Closet in Memphis. Hill & Company 12 Event Design. Royalty Wellness Spa is committed to providing you with a quality service in an intimate and friendly environment. They offer anti-aging medical treatments that improve the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, fill lips, voluminize cheeks, and improve deep folds. They also offer treatments that can improve energy, decrease fat, and improve hair, skin, and nails. Call 901-779-2385. Align Therapy is a full-service community-based rehabilitation clinic specializing in manual therapy. They provide a more personalized experience for their clients. Align Therapy's goal is to help their patients become their best selves. Call 901-877-2244.
When you are discourteous, disrespect others, interrupt others, speak sarcastically, or ignore others, your emotional bank account becomes overdrawn because you have jeopardized the trust level. When the trust level is low, you have to be very careful of what you say. Our most precious relationships with our spouse, children, friends, or boss require constant deposits because those relationships continue to grow and change. And with these changes come new expectations. If you have a teenager at home, you may make several withdrawals in just one day. As your marriage evolves, your roles and responsibilities may change, and your work and home lives may change over time because of career changes or kids moving out or back in. These relationships require constant investment.
So we were talking about your emotional bank account, right?
Yes.
And like your financial bank account for your business or your personal financial bank account, your emotional bank account has the ability to be overdrafted, and it has the ability to eventually be a closed account.
Absolutely. And how we tend to get to that point, again, it goes back to overextending ourselves. When you find yourself in overdraft mode, that's when you're constantly rushing. Have you ever found a time when you're always rushing?
Yes.
You're always late to every appointment.
Never late. I'm never late.
You don't follow up. You tell someone you're going to call them, and you never call them. And then you end up losing that account or that customer. That's because you're in overdraft mode.
Oh, yeah.
And when you get to the point when they close your account, that's when you just feel totally overwhelmed by your business. You don't enjoy it anymore. And what tends to happen is it can lead you to depression. It can make you feeling like you have low self-esteem. There's hopelessness, and you just become overwhelmed. Your business should bring joy to you. Yes, earning a business, growing a business, yes, there's going to be a struggle. There are going to be challenges. But you should never get to the point that you don't want to get out of bed and work your business. If you get to that point,
right,
that's when your account's closed. That's when you're that's when we talk about complete, full-blown burnout.
Well, typically on the She EO Mindset, on our podcast, we've talked about this on our Facebook page, our IG page. We always talk about the fact that you just can't get to that point.
Yeah,
it amazes me, people that say they're in business and they're constantly late. You heard me say I don't do late. Like, I'm an event planner by trade, so I feel like you should like the thing that you do, and you should be working your passion on purpose. I always say that. Yeah. Work your passion on purpose, because that's the thing that you would do without being paid, right?
And your passion and your purpose can lead to a profit.
Absolutely.
But what we have to do in our business, especially for those of us that have our own brand and you are your company, what I've learned is that you under promise and over deliver. What we tend to do, we over promise
and under deliver.
And don't show up.
And don't show up.
Don't even show up.
That's definitely not
and
good.
So that's where we lead to our emotional bank account getting totally just overwhelmed and not focused on what you're doing. And that only comes through when you're not paying attention to what you're doing. I know people that check their bank account every day.
Right.
I work with a lady, she checks her bank account every single day.
I check mine
every
morning.
My question is, when the last time you checked your emotional bank account? When was the last time you asked yourself, who's pouring into me? Who's feeding me versus what's taken away from me? If there's a part of your business, and let's be clear, sometimes as a business owner, there are going to be some things that you're just not gifted or talented to do.
Pass it on.
You need to hire a professional. Right. Let's be clear.
That's true.
You may have to cut corners, you may have to cut coupons or whatever you need to do to generate that revenue. But if you have a part of your business that's suffering, you have to be willing to invest in that part of your business. For example, I will use myself. I am not a marketing PR person. You are. So if I know I have an upcoming conference or I have an upcoming event, I always call Nicole and say, hey, I'm going to this conference to present this topic. Right. How should I do this page? Yeah. How should I prepare my media? Be willing to let people come and help you so you won't get to the point where you hate your business.
Right.
And you're refusing to get out of the bed. I have talked to so many people that will say, I just hate getting out of the bed in the morning. Your job, your passion should never get to that point. And it only happens when you don't feed what is growing your business and when you don't feed your soul. And that's where your passion and your profit comes together.
And how can they feed that though? Because I think people sometimes just don't know. I think it's a level of ignorance, so to speak, but how do they actually feed that thing?
We're going to talk about that when we get back, because learning what feeds your soul is unique to each individual person. But we invite you to come back and join us as we continue the She EO Mindset.
Wine? Because it's not good to keep things all bottled up. Enjoy the lifestyle of all things uncorked, especially when you're wine touring with Gates Uncorked. Gates Uncorked invites you to wind down and host your very own private in-home wine tasting with family and friends. Call 901-466-6703 to book today.
Awaken Wellness Consulting mission is to aim, advocate, inform, and motivate individuals to engage in whole person wellness to address real-life challenges. Awaken Wellness Consulting strives to equip and empower individuals in the world to discover whole person wellness. Ready to change your life? Book a consultation at awakenwellnessconsulting.com.
Years, David. The time you served was nothing compared to the time that you weren't here.
Look, I'm out here with both hands tied behind my back, trying to make things right. Denise! No.
Hi, I'm Rod Kirby, and I'm a screenwriter, director, and producer here in Memphis, Tennessee. After completing my last short film in 2016, an interesting idea popped into my head. What if a father and son had to fight for their lives after the rapturing of the saints? The Bible talks about an event where believers are spared from destruction and the horrors of the end times. This event, the rapture as it's commonly known, sees Jesus return to earth, taking believers with him and leaving sinners behind to face the apocalypse. I started working on the script for this idea during the summer of 2016. However, I got stuck on developing a proper ending and let it sit on the shelf for 3 years. Since then, I've been working full-time as a corporate videographer, producing other projects within the Memphis film community, and I earned my master's degree in entertainment business from Full Sail University. Now, while things were going well professionally, artistically, I was in a rut. I had a burning desire to finish the script, but I didn't know how. Then, something miraculous happened. The perfect ending for the film came to me in a dream. I woke up, started jotting down ideas, and before I knew it, I was ready to dive in and finish the story. The Prayer is a faith-based drama and thriller that follows the story of a man whose wife and daughter are taken to heaven during the rapture. He's left behind along with his son to pick up the pieces after they're gone. Years later, they must fight for their lives when they're visited by a partially blind psychopath who infiltrates their home by impersonating a minister. The Prayer is a dark and gritty exploration of what happens when we're forced to confront our sin and what it takes to earn redemption. After finishing the script last year, I saved a little money to start production on The Prayer. We were able to shoot the first half of the film early this year. Now we need your help to finish production in order to submit our project to film festivals. We need money for additional casting, production costs, and finishing funds for post-production. I want to personally invite you to join us in the making of The Prayer. If you're a fan of faith-based films like the Left Behind series, thrillers like Frailty, or tense family dramas, then this is the movie for you. We're raising production funds with the help of a platform called Seed and Spark. We have to raise 80% of our funding goal in order to receive money to complete The Prayer. Please consider pledging just a few dollars to help us reach our goal. Thanks for watching.
So Katrina, before the break, we were talking about our emotional bank account. You know, one thing I like to really relay in this segment is our customers will always remember how we made them feel, right?
Absolutely.
They remember every business transaction they've ever done with you. And so if you're an emotional wreck,
absolutely,
right, you are totally depleted. Your account is overdrawn and about to be closed.
Absolutely.
Right? Because you can't make good on it. That's detrimental to your brand.
Absolutely, because what I've seen is we tend to invest in the external. We'll make sure our website is sharp. We'll make sure our headshot is on point. We'll make sure we got the coolest business cards.
Fake it till you make it.
We will make sure we got an excellent media kit.
Yeah.
And that's all wonderful.
Well put together.
But if you put that out there, but that's not who they meet when you show up in the room.
Wow.
That's where the problem comes.
Absolutely.
You have to make sure just as much as you put the energy into everything that externally represents you, you got to put that same amount of work internally. And no one can do that work for you but you. A lot of times I'll hear people say, well, I had a rough childhood, or I didn't go to the right school, I didn't have the right mentor. Okay, that is a part of your past.
Or is that excuses?
Well, it can be excuses, and I think sometimes in people's mind, again,
it's
a valid reason.
Right.
But as a business owner, you have to realize that if this is not growing my business, if it's not expanding my client base, if it's not moving me towards the profits I want, if it's not serving your business,
right,
then you have to do the work to remove that. And nobody can do the work but you. And when it comes to emotional bank accounts, everybody's deposits are different. For you, going traveling may be a deposit for you, because I know you love to travel.
Going traveling is definitely a deposit.
And the only way you know that works for you is because you did what? You did the work. You figured out what was a positive deposit for you. For me, I loved quiet. Because I'm a trainer, I'm always up in front of people, I'm always talking. I try to make sure I carve out time where I have quiet time just for myself. Withdrawals. Your withdrawal may be different from mine. For me, negative people. Being in a space, I will leave an event. I'm gonna tell you how committed I am about being in the right space. I bought a ticket one time to attend a fundraiser, and I was there for approximately 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes of the event, I was exposed to so much negativity, I left. And they were like, you paid $50 for the ticket. I don't care.
Gotta know when to fold them.
Because time is something you don't get back.
It does.
You can spend your money, but you won't ever get any more time back.
Right.
So knowing what those withdrawals are, knowing those triggers, knowing those things that deplete you from your business, and then making sure that you're giving out as much as you're requiring from other people. Sometimes as business owners, we are so demanding with our clients and our customers.
It's almost like the golden rule, right?
Yeah.
Golden rule of business.
Yeah, you're demanding to your clients, you're demanding to your vendors, I expect this and I want this. But my question are you putting those same expectations on yourself? Again, you want to under promise but over deliver. Sometimes we go out and we make these grand gestures and talk about all these fabulous things we're going to do, and you're not going to get off the couch.
So it sounds like to me the key to managing your emotional bank account is being able to master your relationships.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. In business, the most important thing, it doesn't matter how bad your website is or how cool your business cards are, relationships will break or make your business.
Right.
And people will know you. They will know you by your work, by your character, by what you put out there. So instead of investing all this money and energy into having this flashy website or having these really cool headshots, and nothing wrong with having nice headshots, make sure you carve out some time to check your emotional bank account. Right. Just like you're checking your financial bank account, making sure that check was deposited, making sure this cleared out. So make sure you set time aside for yourself and go, okay, what did I contribute today? What did I bring to someone? And we got to keep that in mind as we continue to move forward with our businesses.
And I think you want to have people in your corner that's going to be honest. I know if I come to you about something, you're going to be like, no, Nicole, that don't work. You know, I want people always that's in my corner that's going to, kind of be my check and balance, so to speak.
Make sure your bank account is balanced.
Yeah, I think we could totally do this topic like 2 or 3 more times. But for now, we want to remind our audience always to take time to wind down.
Absolutely.
And this is my favorite wine.
Yes, a red.
Reserve Cuvée.
Yes.
And we want you to remember where you started, celebrate always where you are, focus on where you're going, and trust the process.
And again, we invite you to come back and join us as we continue this journey on the She EO Mindset.
The She EO Mindset is brought to you by
Hill & Company 12 Event Design.